Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Episode 3, is titled The Squire, which basically means this episode teases the secret we've all been waiting for with a prophecy about Egg, and honor gets tested in the most brutal way possible. We'll be breaking down this episode with all the Easter eggs and book references as we can. Let's get into it. The episode opens on something genuinely sweet. Dunk fast asleep under their elm tree pavilion while Egg lies awake, watching him with this look of determination, worry, both. Egg isn't just some kid tagging along anymore. He's decided this is his life now. This hedge knight with a heart of gold but zero prospects, that's who Egg chooses to stand beside. So while Dunk snores away, Egg takes Thunder, the stubborn, ornery warhorse, out for training. At first, Thunder is having none of it, but Egg doesn't give up. Egg tells Thunder, "Sir Duncan only has us, and if he loses, he won't even have that." Think about what that means. Egg, who has now been revealed in Episode 3, is a prince. He could snap his fingers and have anything he wants, but he's chosen struggle and to serve a man who embodies everything the songs say knights should be: brave, honest, protective of the weak. This is Egg rejecting his Targaryen privilege and choosing to learn what it means to be a good person from the ground up. It's beautiful. Egg's training is interrupted by a figure emerging from the mist, a one-eyed knight wearing a steel eye patch, who lost his eye in a joust in a tournament few years ago. This is Sir Robin Riesling, known as the maddest knight in the Seven Kingdoms. He immediately accuses Egg of stealing Thunder, which, fair assumption given Egg looks like a street urchin. But when Egg mentions he serves Sir Duncan the Tall, Robin's response is cutting. Never heard of him. This character will be important in the later episodes, so remember this meeting. Dunk wakes up, and after some casual conversation about Egg growing hair from his stones, they head into town. Egg asks if he can squire for Dunk permanently after the tournament, but Dunk doesn't want to promise something he might not be able to deliver. But then Plumber, the steward, pulls Dunk aside with an offer. He tells Dunk that Lord Ashford spent way too much money hosting this tournament. He's broke. So Plumber proposes that Dunk challenge Ashford's son, Sir Andro, in a joust, and Andro will throw the fight. Everyone will bet on the Lord's son to beat some nobody hedge knight. But if Dunk wins, the Ashfords can secretly bet on Dunk and make a fortune. In exchange, Dunk gets Andro's horse, armor, and weapons. It's free money, free armor, everything Dunk desperately needs. And Dunk considers it. He's not some paragon of virtue who instantly refuses. He's a poor man being offered financial security. He actually thinks about it. Plunder even warns him, "Mind your pride, Sir Duncan, because pride doesn't keep you fed. Pride doesn't buy armor." And if Dunk loses legitimately, he loses everything. This moral dilemma, honor versus survival, is the heart of Dunk's character arc, and we'll never know what he would have chosen, because events are about to spiral completely out of his control. We're then back to the tournament, and we see Aerion Blightflame. He rides out in ornate dragon-themed armor, looking every inch the royal prince. But notice Baelor's face when he sees Aerion. That tired, knowing look. He knows what's coming. Aerion rides past his cousin Valar, taunts him, "I won't embarrass you today," then challenges Sir Ryan Harding, who's already exhausted from an earlier match. It's a mismatch. Aerion should win easily, but he doesn't just want to win, he wants to humiliate. On the second charge, Aerion drives his lance through the horse's neck. Blood sprays everywhere. The horse crashes through the tilt railing, snapping Sir Ryan Harding's leg underneath its dying body. The animal screams and thrashes, and they have to mercy kill it with another lance while Sir Ryan lies trapped, his leg shattered. And Aerion? He lifts his visor and smirks. The crowd riots. People throw stones, storm the barriers. The Kingsguard have to protect Aerion from the mob. This is unprecedented. During House of the Dragon, nobody would dare attack a Targaryen like this. But now, without dragons, the common people are done with Targaryen cruelty. Dunk tries to convince himself it was an accident. A knight wouldn't behave so dishonorably, especially not a prince. But Egg is in tears and says that was no mishap. Aerion knew exactly what he was doing. On their way to Tansel's puppet show, Dunk and Egg pass a fortune teller. She tells Dunk, "You shall know great success and be richer than a Lannister." Dunk laughs, then asks what she sees for Egg. Her face goes dark. "You shall be king and die in a hot fire, and worms shall feed upon your ashes, and all who know you shall rejoice in your dying." Egg goes pale, but Dunk just laughs it off. For those who know the lore, this is a direct reference to the tragedy at Summerhall. The hot fire is the wildfire conflagration that destroys Summerhall Palace, but we will discuss more about it in a different video, but this is a very important scene in the show. Later, Dunk's with Raymond at his tent. They're having a conversation, and Dunk still defends Aerion, saying, "Surely it was a mistake. No knight could be so dishonorable." And Raymond explodes. They're incestuous aliens, blood magicers, and tyrants. Raymond's rant shows how far House Targaryen has fallen. Egg waits at Sansa's tent to pick up Dunk's shield while watching her perform a show, which is about a knight named Sir Wilwyn of the Mirror Shield who battles a magnificent dragon puppet, and the dragon loses. The knight drives a sword through its neck, but Egg notices that Aerion is there watching the show as well. For a house that built its power on dragons, this is unforgivable mockery for Aerion. Egg runs to get Dunk, saying he's hurting her, and hearing this, Dunk immediately goes there and sees Tansel scream as Aerion has just started breaking her fingers, and Dunk charges in. He doesn't hesitate. He sees a woman being tortured and he acts. He punches Aerion in the face, hard enough to loosen a tooth. Attacking a prince of royal blood is treason and punishable by death. His men take a hold of Dunk, and Aerion orders his men to knock out all of Dunk's teeth. They grab him, force him to his knees, but Egg steps forward and tells the guards to stop, and even then, Dunk thinks about Egg and asks him to stay quiet.
"Hold your tongue or they'll hurt you!"
But it is then revealed that his squire is actually a Targaryen prince, Egg, short for Aegon, and this whole time, Dunk had no idea his reaction says it all, and suddenly everything falls into place about the little boy. Also, at the beginning of the episode, Egg sings while whittling. The song recounts the Battle of Redgrass Field during the Blackfire Rebellion. The hammer and the anvil refers to the battle strategy. Baelor led the hammer, the cavalry charge from behind, while Maekar held the anvil, the defensive line. They crushed Daemon Blackfire's army between them. This song is basically Egg singing about his uncle and father's greatest military victory. Aerion recognizes him too and asks him, "What did you do to your hair?" To which Egg responds with,
"I cut it off, brother. I didn't want to look like you."
The episode ends with Dunk and Egg staring at each other, the truth finally out in the open. Dunk punched the prince to protect an innocent. Egg revealed himself to save Dunk, and now they're both trapped in a very bad situation.